Today I'm breaking down everything you need to know, from verified pitching matchups, bullpen depth, and advanced analytics, to the best bets, home run props, strikeout angles, and total bases picks. Whether you're riding the hot bats or fading shaky bullpens, we've got all the value plays and parlay legs lined up for you. This isn't just a preview, it's your ultimate betting blueprint for the entire MLB board today. Tonight at Great American Ballpark, the Cincinnati Reds 69-68 kick off a crucial series against the division-leading Toronto Blue Jays 79-58. Both clubs are scrambling, Toronto tightening to fend off the Yankees, and Cincinnati scraping to stay alive in wild-card conversations. Let's set this up. Pitching matchup. The mound assignments shine a spotlight on a high-ceiling duel. Hunter Greene 5-4. 2.81 ERA for the Reds versus Chris Bassitt 11-7, 4.14 ERA for Toronto. Greene has built his season into ace territory and owns an elite 1.80 ERA at home in Great American. Bassitt gets advantage for mid-rotation experience, but his road splits, especially against the Reds, aren't pretty. Game context and market insight. Moneyline. Reds are slight favorites at around -120, Blue Jays +102. Run line. Reds -1.5 is up around +162. Total. 8.5 runs is the action zone. Toronto's Chris Bassitt holds a rock-solid 2.08 ERA across 21 innings against these Reds, making him historically sharp in this matchup. Meanwhile, the Reds limped in. They've lost 8 of their last 10 and deployed a top prospect, Sal Stewart, in a last-ditch playoff push. High-leverage angles and analytics. Bullpens. Cincinnati's relievers, 3.89 ERA, look sturdier than Toronto's, 4.09 ERA, especially given Toronto's shaky September trend. Greene's mid-innings departure could tilt play late. Expect action around the 5th-7th inning window. Stats. Toronto offense. .268 AVG, .337 OBP, .429 SLG. Bichette has 172 hits, 86 RBIs. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Ernie Clement add relentless on-base firepower. Detroit offense. .246 AVG, .317 OBP, .391 SLG. Elly de la Cruz anchors with 146 hits and 77 RBIs, complemented by hitters like TJ Friedl and Spencer Steer. In-game preview. In a recent thriller, Bassitt tossed 6 innings with only 2 runs, and Greene matched with 6.1 innings. Bichette wrecked it, going 4 with a late HR, only to have Toronto's bullpen collapse, off the rails in the 9th. Player props to cash. Hunter Greene over 5.5 kiloseconds. He sits in the 92nd percentile for K rate and whiff. Blue Jays K rate is league high. Chris Bassitt under 5.5 kiloseconds. Contact pitching, especially versus lineup that rarely chases. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Anytime HR over 1.5 terabytes. Power meets volume in a favorable matchup. Elly de la Cruz over 1.5 terabytes plus anytime SB, upper tier speed plus pop, pricing in coasters for this. SGP parlay structures. Lean build, lower variance. Greene over 5.5 kiloseconds. Over 8.5 runs. Vlad Jr. 1+ hit, high upside swing. Reds -1.5 RL. Greene 6+ Ks. Vlad Jr. HR. Greene NESV, sneaky if final innings tighten. Over 8.5 runs. Light hedge. Reds ML plus Greene over Ks plus VLC Cruz SB, power plus speed combo with backup. Game flow script. Early 1-3 innings, Greene pounds the zone. 2 kiloseconds, quick counts. Bassitt looks good but mixture of FB/SL failed to fool Greene's strength. Reds get crooked run. Total dips from 8.5 to 7.5. Middle 4 to 6. Vlad Burns 1. Reds pen used early. Green exits with 6 kiloseconds, 95 pitches. Late, 7-9, Toronto Pen falters. Reds tack late crooked runs. Over 8.5 cashes. Lean ticket slides in strong. Swing sees fireworks if Vlad pops. Live pivot point. Green reaches 5 kiloseconds before 75 pitches. Scale up RL or scratch bets 2. Green 7+ Ks. Bassett spins 6 or fewer Ks through 4th. Pivot to Ellie Cruz SB or overrun total on offense still trending. Tonight at PNC Park, the LA Dodgers 78-59 roll into Pittsburgh to battle the Pirates 61-77 in a matchup drenched in power dynamics, pitching intrigue, and managerial chess. Pitching preview and early lines. According to MLB's official roster, the Dodgers will send Clayton Kershaw, 9-2, 3.06 ERA, to the bump against Carmen Wojcinski, 3-7, 3.86 ERA for Pittsburgh. Kershaw brings veteran poise and career-defining control, while Wojcinski boasts promising peripherals despite a losing record. Turn 0 Search 2, Turn 0 Search 1. Betting landscape from Action Network. Dodgers favored at -182 megaliters. Run line. Dodgers -1.5 at -110, Pirates +1.5 at 110. Game total. 8.5 runs, with over -105, under -115. Turn 0 Search 7. Context and team comparison. Dodgers lead in bullpen efficiency, with a league-best average exit velocity allowed of just 86.1 miles per hour. That's massive suppression against a Pirates offense low on production. Turn 0 Search 7. Pirates enter the matchup with a postseason feel checkpoint. Their record looms under .500, but the infusion of youth, like Wojcinski and Paul Skeens in the rotation, helps them stay hungry. Turn 0 News 18, Turn 0 Search 23. Dodgers, meanwhile, get Ohtani resting from the rotation but hitting as DH, and have roster depth bolstered by Haishung Kim and Michael Kopech returning. Turn 0 News 19. Angle Spotlight and Analytics. Kershaw. Ground ball producer with pinpoint command, great for controlling under scenarios, especially against high-inning starters like Wojcinski. Wojcinski. Bullpen escape artist turned spot starter, low walk rate but high ceiling when he drifts. Dodgers bullpen is elite at shutting down crooked innings, while Pirates relief shows inconsistency and fatigue late. Ballpark factor. PNC Park suppresses homers despite hitter-friendly quirks. Key if over-under narratives escape. Player props and value. Kershaw over 5.5 kiloseconds. Upside in long, efficient innings with chase-inducing arsenal. Wojcinski over 4.5 kiloseconds. Value from young arm with high whiff rate on peripherals. Freddie Freeman anytime hit, 2+ TB, contact machine with sweet pull power. Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases, elite slugger in prime team spot, even off rest. O'Neal Cruz anytime hitter SB, Pirates speed vault with game-changing tangibles. Same game parlay builds, lean, high confidence approximately 3 legs. Dodgers ML, Kershaw over 5.5 kiloseconds. Freeman 1+ hit, swing ticket. High upside approximately 4 to 5 legs. Dodgers -1.5 RL plus odds. Kershaw 6+ Ks. Freeman 2+ TB. Ohtani 1+ hitter total bases. Over 8.5 runs. Hedge alternative. Dodgers ML plus O'Neal Cruz anytime SB. Adds power speed upside with lower correlation. Game flow blueprint. Innings 1-3. Kershaw uses early grounders, Wojcinski strikes out a few but leans on weak contact to limit damage. Mid-game 4-6. Dodgers scratch crooked runs via Freeman's barrel and Ohtani early. Wojcinski exits around 80 pitches, Pirates pen cracks. Late innings. Dodgers pen bottles it. O'Neal Cruz either sparks small ball escape with speed or bleeds into structural spreads for Pirates. Over 8.5 runs clears if Pirates add crooked number late. Live adjustments. If Kershaw zeroes out 5 innings with low pitch count, less than 70, ladder Dodgers RL or add more K props mid-game. If Wojcinski bats around or allows early runs, pivot to Pirates total bases props to hedge or add value. Tonight at Comerica Park, the Detroit Tigers and New York Mets close out their series in a matchup that's built for bettors who love strikeouts, power windows, and live hedging. The board shapes this as a knife fight between two veteran arms who can miss bats but also hand you damage if they lose the plate. Charlie Morton for Detroit and Sean Manaea for New York. Pick Dogs lists this game as a tight moneyline affair with the total in the 8 to 9 range, and market money has been active on both sides, so expect late movement into first pitch. Morton brings the veteran gas and splitter mix that still racks whiffs even with an elevated ERA, 2025. Roughly 5.2 minus 5.5 ERA, approximately 140 kiloseconds on the season. He profiles as the guy who will give you 6+ strikeouts on his best nights but can also surrender the long ball when he leaves cutters over the plate. That creates a clear starter prop angle. Morton over 5.5 kiloseconds is a playable anchor if his release looks sharp. Baseball Savant and ESPN splits show Morton's average exit velocity and barrel rate tick up when he misses spots, which is why you hedge his K plays with team total or TB legs. Sean Manaea's season has been a roller. High K9 upside but spotty results in several starts. 2025 ERA north of 5.5, but with elite Ks in his better outings. Manaea is the prototypical high-variance lefty who flirts with double-digit Ks when his slider and sinker are functioning. When his command drifts, the long ball shows up. Wager Talks NRFI and matchup notes have already highlighted Manaea as a favorable NRFI pivot and a strikeout engine against a Tigers lineup that hasn't been elite versus southpaws over the last 2 weeks. That sets up the Manaea over 5.5 kiloseconds leg as another core SGP building block. Offensively, this game leans power. Detroit's middle order Green, Torkelson, etc. can turn one mistake into crooked runs. New York counters with Juan Soto and a middle order that profiles for both barrels and patient run construction. The park factors here suggest a fair split. Comerica isn't Coors, but a mistake fastball can leave the yard. Top props I'm targeting on camera. Soto anytime HR, Green 2+ total bases, and a correlated team total over on whichever side wins early innings. Use team totals as the glue to reduce correlation drag between starter K legs and big hitting legs. Bullpens matter. Detroit's relief depth has shown flashes but remains inconsistent, while the Mets' pen has been taxed lately. That creates live betting windows in the 6th-8th innings where adding a team total or a pitcher K ladder can make sense if either starter exits early. For live strategy, if Morton is at 5 kiloseconds under 80 pitches by the 6th, bump up sizing on Mets -1.5 or add Soto HR ladders. If Manaea is efficient in cruising SUB 22 pitches through 2 kiloseconds, that's your green light to ladder his K lines and buy the Mets moneyline in run. Same game parlay SGP construction that balances variance. Ticket A, Banker, Morton over 5.5 kiloseconds, Manaea over 5.5 kiloseconds, under over split depending on first pitch weather, lean over 8. Ticket B, Boom, Mets -1.5 RL, Soto HR, Green 2+ TB, both starters 6+ Ks. For a lower correlation alternative, flip the middle legs to team totals plus single high leverage prop, Soto 1+ hit, and use the starter Ks as anchors. Size Banker tickets 1-2% of bankroll, swings 0.25-0.5% depending on risk tolerance. Numbers to watch pregame. K lines for both pitchers 5.5, 6.5 thresholds Mets Tigers team totals 3.5-4.5 and any early movement on the run line. Live, watch first inning pitch counts and third time through the order damage. Narratively, expect whiffs early, one crooked inning in the middle frames, and bullpen chess late. This slate is tailor-made for props and same-game parlay creativity rather than single massive straight bets. Play the edges, manage ticket sizes, and use live cues aggressively. Tonight at Nationals Park, we've got Cade Cavalli, 1-1, 5.11 PCL, on the mound for Washington, facing the Marlins' Adam Mazur, 0-1, 5.59 PCL. Both hurlers are helming the back of the rotation, meaning this is a volatility spot ripe for betting angles if you know which levers to pull. Turn 0 Search 8. Betting landscape and game context. Moneyline. Nationals slotted at around -116, Marlins +104. Run line. Marlins favored -1.5 lies at +150 territory. Total. Locked at 9 runs. Turn 0 Search 3. Washington is teetering on the edge of a historic benchmark. Their week from hell has fans praying they avoid a 100-loss season. They snapped an 8-game skid yesterday behind a debut gem from Andrew Alvarez, who allowed just one hit over 5 innings and beat the banged-up Marlins bullpen 2-0. Turn 0 News 21 Turn 0 Search 4. Miami, meanwhile, comes in riding momentum from a weekend spoil of the Mets, back-to-back wins including a crucial 5-1 Sunday victory. Young bats like Agustin Ramirez, recent HR and multi-RBI performance, and Jacob Marcy, 2 hits, 2 walks are lighting up. Turn 0 Search 10 Turn 0 Search 6. Bullpen matchup and game shapes. Buying early payoff in this one hinges on bullpen durability. The Nationals' relief corps has been strong in short bursts. The win yesterday included 13 straight scoreless innings from the bullpen. That gives them a structural edge if Cavalli exits clean in the middle frames. Miami's bullpen, by contrast, is being stretched thin. No set closer named, and the rotation tandem of Ramirez and perhaps others poised to cover long relief if Mazur falters early. That creates one of your best live bet jumps if Cavalli misses with traffic or if the Marlins scratch first. Deep analytics and baseball trends. Cavalli. Average day run prevention profile. MID 9K, 9 potential with gopher risk fastball if his cutter doesn't land. Mazur. Rookie resume with spike ball mix. K upside but temperamental location creates large wiggle room. Home advantage. Nationals Park is neutral, but Nats perform well in tight matchups when the bullpen locks. Day game dynamics. The Marlins have won 10 of their last day games against the Nats at Nationals Park following a road win, while Washington has struggled to cover in those same scenarios. Turn 0 Search 6. Player props to attack. Cavalli over 4.5 kiloseconds. Reliable strikeout potential if efficient. His slider has elite chase spoiled by control variance. Mazur over 4.5 kiloseconds. High upside rookie fastball, slider combo in thin air scenarios. Agustin Ramirez anytime HR. Hot bat, swing and miss power spike. Jacob Marcy 1+ hit, total base. Contact boom bat making transplantable adjustments. CJ Stubbs MLB debut, anytime hit. Emotional carry and deceptive rookie at home. SGP, parlay structures. Core lean, 3 legs. Cavalli over 4.5 kiloseconds. Over 9 runs. Marcy 1+ hit. High upside swing, 4 legs. Marlins -1.5 RL. Ramirez HR. Mazur over 4.5 kiloseconds. Over 9 runs. Hedge add-on. Marlins ML plus Mazur over Ks plus Allegheny rookie hit. Give alignment on youth energy and bullpen fragility. Game flow script. Innings 1-3. Both starters trade zeros. Cavalli's sweeping slider flirts but stays mostly elusive. Ramirez mugs a fastball into left. Scooter HR leans equity early for home team ticket. Mid-game 4-6. Marcy barrels 1 for double. Traffic climbs. Over set to 9. Marlins pen looks stretched. Cavalli sits at 80 pitches with 5 kiloseconds. lean transition to Mets Kiff. Late innings 7-9. Nats pen locks down, but bullpen fatigue hits Miami. If the Marlins are plus 1.5 and trailing, expect a push to live bet them to generate a crooked inning or salvage lean. Over 9 takes over if both D strips. Live hedge triggers. If Cavalli cruises sub 30 pitches through 2 kiloseconds in second, double down on Ramos hour plus Mazur Ks. If Mazur misses early moneyline pivot to Nats and pull Marlin TB legs. If over moves fast to 9.5, downsize risk or pivot out unless Ramirez makes game critical contact. Tonight at Fenway Park, the Boston Red Sox, 77-62, host the Cleveland Guardians, 68-68, in what looks like a textbook Fenway pitching duel that's hiding more playability than the public realizes. Boston hands the ball to Garrett Crochet, a lefty who has been one of the staff's most reliable arms this season, 14.5, sub 2.50 era, elite K rates and low home run profile, while Cleveland counters with Slade Cecconi, a back-of-rotation righty who offers a contact-first profile and has been hittable at times, notably in his recent splits. The market has leaned Boston as the clear favorite at home, but that favorite tag doesn't eliminate value, it simply redirects where you should look. Starter Ks, team totals, and correlated prop legs that exploit the way Fenway distorts batted ball outcomes. Start with the starters and how they create your two clearest edges. Crochet's peripheral numbers scream. Strikeout anchor, elite whiff rates and two-strike dominance make Crochet over 6.5 kiloseconds a leg you can comfortably build around if his velo and command are present in the first 2 innings. Cecconi, by contrast, gets a lot of contact. His strength is inducing weak contact rather than missing bats, which pushes value toward Boston's power legs and Cleveland's team total over depending on lineup construction. From a matchup lens this matters. Fenway rewards opposite field loft and penalizes poorly located sinkers, so when Cecconi misses his spots you're more likely to see extra bases and crooked runs than long Ks. Use Crochet's K-line as a structural anchor and plan to hedge if he shows early trouble. Bullpen shape tilts the SGP construction. Boston's relief core has been league average but stable in high-leverage innings. Cleveland's pen has flashes, especially in leverage involving Emmanuel Clase when available, but depth questions linger after high workload stretches. That bullpen differential means same-game parlays that rely on Boston holding a late lead. For example, Boston ML plus Boston team total over X carry more EV than uncorrelated multi-team overs. If you want low correlation, favor combos that pair Crochet K legs with single high-leverage Boston bat props, Trevor Story extra bases, Alex Verdugo RBI, rather than stacking both teams' offense into one ticket. Team bullpen splits and season-era tiers back this structure. Deploy smaller sizes on high-variance late-inning bullpen legs and use the bullpen differential as a reason to size Boston team total legs slightly larger. Now the prop map. These are the hitter and pitcher plays I'm comfortable recommending on camera. For starters, Crochet over 6.5 kiloseconds anchor, Cecconi under 4.5 kiloseconds, fade the misses, Trevor Story over 1.5 total bases, power profile and Fenway A-Rod, Green Monster Dynamics, Jose Ramirez anytime RBI, go-to run producer for Cleveland, always a value dart, and Boston team total over 4.5 is your mid-variance scoring leg if the hook is priced near or below that mark. If you want one volatile dart, a Story home run at plus money, Fenway short porches and his pull power make it a playable swing. These prop calls combine repeatable K models with park-adjusted hitter value and are consistent with market lines and model consensus found across the preview desk. SGP and parlay construction should be explicit and size-aware. Ticket A, lower variance banker, Garrett Crochet over 6.5 kiloseconds plus Boston ML plus Story over 1.5 terabytes. This ticket leverages Crochet's K floor and Boston's run manufacturing at home while keeping correlation moderate. Ticket B, higher upside, Boston minus 1.5 RL. Plus Crochet 7 plus Ks plus Story Hour plus Boston TT over 4.5. This is a pay-up ticket that assumes early offense and dominant starting work. For contrarian players who prefer Cleveland, a viable smaller ticket is Cecconi 5 plus Ks plus Jose Ramirez anytime RBI plus Guardians team total over 3.5. You're buying contact with RBI sequencing rather than expecting Cecconi to miss bats, and it hedges against Crochets who struggle. Size the banker at 1-2% of bankroll and the boom ticket 0.25-0.5% depending on your tolerance. Live game management is where you win or lose. Pre-game, watch Crochet's first inning tempo and spin. If he misses bats early and sits low on pitch count through 2 innings, you upsize K ladders and consider adding Boston -1.5 live. If Crochet's velo is down or he issues a pair of walks early, trim K exposure and pivot into Boston hitter TB legs or an RBI prop that's less starter dependent. For in-play hedges, if Cleveland leads late and the Guardians' pen is called upon early, live by the Boston team total at a better price. Books often underreact, and ladder story TB lines as the book's risk management kicks in. Communicate these cues on air so viewers can act in real time. Finally, sizing, mindset, and the closing line to deliver on camera. This is a Fenway favorite spot that rewards discipline. Use Crochet's Ks as your backbone, trust park-adjusted power legs for Boston, and only overcommit to high-variance bullpen legs when you have strong live signals. My headline pick for this game: Boston ML plus Garrett Crochet over 6.5 kiloseconds plus Trevor Story over 1.5 total bases is the lead ticket for most bankrolls, and a smaller booster of Boston -1.5 RL plus Story HR for those chasing higher payouts. Walk viewers through risk percentages: 1-2% banker, 0.25-0.5% swing, and remind them to shop the number across books. The same line can be +120 at one book and -140 at another, and that difference compounds across SGPs. Lock those tickets up, coach the live cues, and let the Fenway angle do the heavy lifting. Tonight, at George M. Steinbrenner Field, the Seattle Mariners 73-64 head into a crucial showdown with the Tampa Bay Rays 67-69. Both teams are still chasing wild cards, but Seattle has its nose in the race while Tampa Bay is teetering on the edge of irrelevance. This series opener is marquee, a power-packed matchup loaded with playoff chess and prop opportunities. Turn 0 News 5 Turn 0 News 2. Pitching matchup and market dynamics. The Rays are rolling with Shane Baz, 8'11", 5.04 ERA, a flamethrower with upside but nagged by second-half fatigue and home run issues. Across the diamond, the Mariners counter with Luis Castillo, 8'7", 3.75 ERA, an electric veteran whose road splits, 5.04 ERA away, 2.79 at home, align with the elevated pressure on the mound tonight. Turn 0 Search 16 Turn 0 Search 8. Betting landscape. Moneyline favors Seattle at -110. Tampa Bay sits at -109 per Fox Sports. Run line shows Seattle -1.5 at approximately +152. Total has trended under 8, but covers C value up to 8.5. Turn 0 Search 1 Turn 0 News 4. Angles snapshot. Castillo is a slightly undervalued. Bounce back. Play. Mariners still need to lock down a stable starter in the rotation, and he's capable of delivering if mechanics click. Baz, meanwhile, has been shelled lately, his 8.47 ERA since All-Star Week is flashpoints of volatility. Both pitchers' last 5 starts are substandard, opportunity knocks for savvy props. Turn 0 Search 16. Offensive context and trends. Homegrown bats shine here. Cal Raleigh, 50-hour, anchors the Mariners lineup, while Junior Caminero, 39 HR, 146 WRC+, leads the Rays' young push. Despite big live arms, both offenses are capable of personal and collective home run bursts if either starter falters. Turn 0 News 2. Turn 0 News 5. Bullpen shape and game flow. Seattle's bullpen has been taxed but steady. Tampa's remains inconsistent, though they occasionally flash late-game high-leverage clutches. That bullpen split leans me toward GP, less than 6 innings, plus Mariners team total plays rather than deep full game over bets. Player props to target. Key props. Castillo under 4.5 kiloseconds. Control risk plus power skies equals contact matchup favors fade. Baz over 5.5 kiloseconds. Aspiration when his heater's on. Value dart. Cal Raleigh over 1.5 total bases. High power. Hot zone Hardemy. Junior Caminero 1+ hitter HR. Home friendly bat with deep ball satellite. Eugenio Suarez anytime HR. Trusted power bat, often quietly explodes. Same game parlay SGP strategies. Lean moderate EV. Seattle ML. Cal Raleigh 1+ TB. Castillo under 4.5 kiloseconds. High upside ticket. Mariners -1.5 RL plus 150. Cal Raleigh 2+ TB. Baz over 5.5 kiloseconds. Junior Caminero anytime HR. Over 8.5 runs if line 8.0. Contrarian lean, raise upside. Baz over 5.5 kiloseconds. Caminero HR. Raise team total over 3.5. Game flow narrative. Innings 1 to 3. Both arms test the zone. Castillo nets early Ks. Baz rides heat but labors. Mariners scratch first crooked run via Raleigh batted ball. Middle 4 to 6. Caminero answers with a homer if first 2 frames slip. Both K legs surge. Total swings toward over as traffic amps. Late 7 to 9 if Castillo heads to bullpen tired 80-85 pitches with runners, the Mariners pen can shut it down. Mariners TT legs explode. Mariners -1.5 cashes if they get 2 labored innings, especially given Tampa's inconsistent pen. Live betting edge. If Castillo hits 3 kiloseconds by the 3rd inning on tight pitch count, buy Mariners -1.5 or ladder TB lines aggressively. If Baz sees greater than 30 pitches with L mismatched to contact, pivot into Mariners team total live or Suarez HR in response. Tonight at Wrigley Field, the Chicago Cubs 78-59 host the Atlanta Braves 62-75 in a matchup that pits a playoff-hungry home squad against a road-weary underdog. The Cubs roll out Shota Imanaga 8-6, approximately 2.85 ERA, a Japanese import dominating at home with pinpoint control and low BABIP, while Atlanta counters with Joey Wentz 5-4, approximately 4.92 ERA, a lefty who flashes mid-90s heat but struggles with consistency. The betting board mirrors this gap. Cubs favored at -120 to -124 megaliters, Braves plus 100-ish, total between 7.59 runs, depending on the book. Market and team context. ATS trends. Cubs are 13-9 ATS when Imanaga takes the mound. Braves have covered only 2 of their last 8 games after a win. Over/under lean. Cubs home games skew over, 30 of last 66 at home have gone over. Braves recent games have also trending over, 4 of last 5. Run line and ML value. Cubs -1.5 runs sits at plus juice + 140. Bullpen and gameplay shape. Chicago's bullpen is quietly elite, efficient, unflappable, and mostly rested. The Braves' relief corps, however, is stretched thin and unreliable in high-leverage innings. That pivots value into high-leverage props like starter K and team totals, rather than stacking both teams' full offense. A smart angle. Build around Imanaga's floor and Cubs' team total, while fading the Braves late if they fall behind early. Prop players to target. Imanaga over 5.5 kiloseconds. Control wizardry with potential upside, excellent preseason numbers and home comfort. Wentz under 5.5 kiloseconds. Predictable mismatch by K standards, favorable for fade. Nico Horner over 1.5 terabytes or anytime hit. contact-focused spark plug with steady on-base quality. Michael Harris 2 anytime hitter RBI, young bat flashing streaky upside versus pitches he can torch. Ian Happ Hour, full power bat that could catch one out in Wrigley's rectangles if left up. Same game parlay builds, lean, lower variance ticket. A Managa over 5.5 kiloseconds. Cubs ML. Horner 1+ hit, high upside. Boom, ticket. Cubs minus 1.5 RL plus 140. A Managa 6+ Ks. Horner 2+ TB. Harris 2 anytime hitter RBI. Over 8 runs if total is 8, not 7.5. Contrarian hedge Braves side. Wentz under 5.5 kiloseconds. Harris 2 hit. Cubs TT over 3.5. Braves team total over 3.5. Game flow script. Early innings 1-3. A Managa cruises early. 2 kiloseconds on light strikes. Wentz labors with high pitch count. Cubs get crooked early via Horner or Brizzo cheap barrel. Middle frames 4-6. Cubs string crooked runs via doubles or a suspicious HR off Happ. Total creeps over 7. If Wentz surrenders hit, live bump to Cubs RL. Late innings 7-9. Braves pen gets aggressive chasing contact. Cubs rotate runs. Twilight Rida triggers TT legs. Lean ticket cashes. Boom ticket explodes if offense pops early. Live trading edges. If a Managa hits 3 kiloseconds under 50 pitches by end of third inning, upsize leg or ladder to 6+ Ks. If Wentz reaches 4+ runs by the third, pivot to Cubs TT overs or start adding Happ HR leg. If the total climbs to 8.5 mid-game, hedge via partial cut on over, lean to singles like Harris RBI to stay in the game. Tonight at Kauffman Stadium, the stage is set for Game 8. A pivotal showdown between the Kansas City Royals 70-66 and the Los Angeles Angels 64-72. First pitch is set for 7:40 p.m. ET, with opening rolls handed to Michael Lorenzen 5-8, 4.62 ERA for the Royals and TBA for the Angels. The odds lean gently toward KC, priced around minus 152 megaliters, with Los Angeles at plus 126. And the run total hanging in the 8.5 range. Pitching advantage and matchup dynamic. Michael Lorenzen brings a high-energy arm to the bump, athletic, strikeout capable, and settled back into Royals rotation form this year. His veteran presence and pocket power give him a stable floor, but a 4.62 ERA shows he's still susceptible to go for balls when his breaking offerings misbehave. The Angels starter is unlisted for this opener, likely a bullpen or spot start scenario revealed just before first pitch. That ambiguity gives bettors strategic flexibility. If the Angels rely on a weak arm, that opens the door for Royals team total leverage and starter K plays. As day of prep is underway, watch for the named starter versus a long relief toss, as that dramatically reshapes over, under and TT value. Team trends and historical angles. Kansas City has shown surprising resilience as a favorite, winning 33 of 57 games when going into the game as ML chalk. Whereas the Angels have been exactly .500 in their favored games, and only 45% win rate as underdogs. The line reflects it, and sportsbooks know the Royals deliver value when they're chalk in close matchups. Offensively, Kansas City sits mid-pack, .247 AVG, .308 OBP, .395 SLG. Bobby Witt Jr., 158 hits, and Vinny Pasquantino, 94 RBI, 28-hour, are core run drivers. Defense has played efficient, with a rotation mix who turn ground ball stats into outs efficiently, even if ERA has fluctuated around 3.65. The Angels, struggling overall this season, still pack punch in Nolan Shanuel, Taylor Ward, and Joe Adell, threats to any offense even in down years. Tap into Angel upside by identifying overt mismatch in the pitching slot. Bullpen landscape and tactical shape. Kansas City's bullpen is deeper in relief leverage, even with new closer addition Carlos Estevez. Estevez's 2.45 ERA and high strikeout ratio smooth out late-game transitions. Angels' pen lacks that reliability. That tilt makes Royals team total overs and late-inning betting smarter than full-game overexposure. Player prop angles. Michael Lorenzen over 5.5 kiloseconds, sedate ERA but solid K-frame, offers structural anchor. Angel starter under 4.5 kiloseconds, likely bullpen or control dud, fade value classic. Bobby Witt Jr. Over 1.5 total bases, high contact spark plug, boosts Royals scoring odds. Vinny Pasquantino anytime HR, middle order highlight and Kaufman friendly power. Joe Adell anytime RBI, Angels upside dart when game script falters. Royals team total over 4, higher floor with Lorenzo's K setting tone and team batting around. SGP in parlay engineering. Lean ticket structured. Lorenzen over 5.5 kiloseconds. Royals ML. Bobby Witt Jr. 1+ hit, 2+ TB. High upside ticket boom. Royals -1.5 RL +140. Pasquantino HR. Lorenzen over 6.5 kiloseconds if available. Over 8.5 runs, swing if total allows. Hedge lean, Angels upside. Angels ML plus Joe Adell RBI plus under 8.5, cheap exposure if Angels get a hot start. Size the lean ticket at 1-2% of bankroll. The boom ticket stays at 0.25-0.5%, with hedges optional micro bet. Game play-by-play forecast. 1 to 3 innings. Lorenzen grinds efficiently, 2 counts on fewer than 25 pitches. Royals build early momentum as offense stays patient. 4 to 6 innings. Royals get crooked runs, Pasquantino sends one out. Angels' pen gets overexposed, backing up Lorenzen stats. 7 to 9 innings. Royals' pen locks in. Royals team total hits over 4, lean ticket cashes clean. Live betting and hedge plan. If Lorenzen hits 3 kiloseconds on less than 35 pitches by third inning right pointing arrow upsize Russ runs plus ladder K props. If Angels starter overmatched early right pointing arrow pivot to Royals team total or Pasquantino HR live. If total shifts to 9 mid-game, trim over size. Keep Royals TB RBIs open as indoor fallback. Tonight at Target Field, the Minnesota Twins and Chicago White Sox square off in a matchup that's begging for structure, not hero bets. The probable picture has Minnesota rolling with a mid-rotation arm who brings strikeout upside and Minnesota's offense keyed by Byron Buxton, while Chicago will counter with a low-cost veteran or bullpen window that creates volatility. Books currently show the Twins as sizable favorites, moneyline ranges around -152. -190 depending on the book, with the game total sitting in the 8 to 9 run area. That pricing tells you where the smart money is being placed and where the value gaps open up. Start with the pitching matchup because everything else flows from it. Probable starters have varied across outlets, but the consensus previews list Simeon Woods Richardson, Bailey Ober, Zebby Matthews types for Minnesota and names like Davis Martin, Aaron Savale, or a bullpen game for Chicago in different pieces. The reality is, the Twins will likely give you an innings eater with 5 to 7K upside while the White Sox starter situation is unstable and could force long relief usage. That instability is the single most actionable fact on this board. Predictable Twins starter right pointing arrow anchor props. Unpredictable White Sox starter right pointing arrow team total and hitter props. Bullpens tilt the win probability more than casual bettors expect. Minnesota's relief corps has been a middling but serviceable group. Chicago's pen has been hit or miss with some recent workload issues and call-ups from AAA, which increases late-inning variance. Practically that means if the Twins lead into the 6th, the market is more likely to tighten around Minnesota and you should consider adding a Twins team total or run line leg rather than chasing high-variance late-inning comebacks for Chicago. Conversely, If Chicago's bullpen is used early, starter exit before the fourth, the game collapses into chaos and live totals and player props become the place to mine EV. Here are the hitter and pitcher prop targets I want on camera, and why. 1. Starter K legs. If Minnesota's starter is Simmons, Woods, Richardson, Ober type, buy over 5.5 kiloseconds for him. The Twins' rotation has enough whiff to make this a reliable anchor. 2. White Sox starter K fade. With a likely contact profile on the other side, look to fade the White Sox starter over lines and instead target team total base runners or Minnesota hits. 3. Byron Buxton over total bases anytime long ball. Buxton in a comfortable matchup with a shaky arm is a classic HR per terabyte play. 4. Lenyn Sosa anytime hit RBI. Sosa is the hot bat in Chicago and shows up in low liquidity markets at fair lines. 5. Twins team total over 4 when the starter looks efficient early. Minnesota puts pressure on poor bullpens and that's a lower variance way to capture scoring. Those are your core legs to mix into SGPs. Same game parlay construction. Keep it size sensitive and correlated. Core conservative SGP, 3 legs, Twins ML plus starter over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Buxton 1 plus hit. That ticket keeps correlation reasonable. Starter Ks and Twins offense mesh because a strong starter limits opponent scoring while giving your core hitters the PA they need. Medium variance build, 4 legs, Twins minus 1.5 RL plus Twins team total over 4 plus Buxton 2 plus TB plus Lenyn Sosa anytime RBI. This pays more but relies on Minnesota having a clean baseline early. High upside contrarian, small unit, White Sox comeback ticket. White Sox ML plus Sosa hour plus White Sox team total over 3.5. Only use this if books show an inflated line after an early Twins lead. Live value. Size conservative tickets 1-2% of bankroll, swings 0.25-0.5%. Game flow plan and live cues you can call out on camera. First 2 innings are everything. If Minnesota's starter punches out 2 batters and sits under 20 pitches through 2 innings, that's your green light to ladder the starter K leg and add a small position to Twins minus 1.5. If the White Sox starter can't get out of the third, pivot hard to White Sox team total and hitter TB legs because the Twins pen has shown susceptibility to cold evenings. Watch pitch counts at the 5th. If the Twins starter reaches 80 plus pitches with 5 plus Ks, consider buying the RL live and shrink the SGP if it has high correlation to late inning bullpen volatility. When Buxton gets on base early, on a walk or hit, that's your signal to upsize TB exposure for him and add a small green, steer type piece depending on lineup. Finally, risks, hedge triggers, and closing best bet. The primary risk is lineup change or a last-minute starter swap, so always check confirmed probables at first pitch. Hedge triggers. If your starter K leg stalls, e.g., 0 kiloseconds first 3 innings, but Twins are up by 2, consider trimming the K leg and adding a Twins team total or insurance RL. My single lead ticket on this board is Twins ML plus starter over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Buxton 1 plus hit. Tonight's showdown features the St. Louis Cardinals 68-70 hosting the Oakland Athletics 63-75. Sonny Gray 12-7. Approximately 4.19 ERA takes the mound for St. Louis, a seasoned righty with strong strikeout history, 173 kiloseconds, and command in high-leverage situations. Oakland counters with promising rookie Luis Morales, 2-0, 1.19 ERA, whose early debut has been electric but is based on a small sample size. The betting market makes the Cardinals hefty favorites around -150 to -154 megaliters, the Athletics around +130, and the total set near 7.5, indicating a controlled, low-scoring canvas where pitching and timely hitting are king. Team trends and tactical setup. ML breakdown. Cardinals are in their element as favorites, winning over 50% of games when priced -117 or stronger. Over-under tendencies. Games involving the Cardinals have gone over in 71 out of 139 chances. Athletics games have cleared the over 69 times too, trending toward offense but controlled by tonight's run line. Bullpen and game flow considerations. Oakland has heavily rotated pitchers, using 7 rookies or relievers as starters, Hoagland, Ginn, Morales included, which signals volatility deep into the game and value in early structured plays. Street. Lewis's bullpen is veteran-laden and reliable. If Gray exits early with a lead, the Cardinals' pen has upside to lock late even with under 5 innings quality. Oakland's pen depth remains untested in pressure, valuable for lean plays, high risk for swing tickets. Prop picks and value plays. High-value pitcher props. Sonny Gray over 5.5 kiloseconds, dependable floor, still misses bats when he's locked. Morales under 4.5 kiloseconds, rookie profile, likely limited damage and less mismatch. Top hitter props. Paul Goldschmidt over 1.5 total bases, consistent extra base threat in prime matchups. Brent Rooker anytime HR, hot barrel and power upside against righty. Nolan Gorman over 1.5 total bases, high power at a plus spot versus rookie. Team totals. Cardinals TT over 3.5 if Gray gets through 5 clean with run support. Athletics TT under 3.5, if Morales is overwhelmed or early runs spike. SGP, parlay structuring. Conservative play. Gray over 5.5 kiloseconds. Cardinals ML. Goldschmidt 1+ hit, high upside ticket. Cardinals minus 1.5 RL, plus 130, 140. Gray 6+ Ks. Rooker HR. Total over 7.5 if weather and conditions allow. Contrarian hedge. A's ML plus Morales 5+ Ks plus Rooker anytime hit. Deploy only if in-game dynamics tilt unexpectedly. Size the conservative ticket at 1-2% bankroll, swing ticket at 0.25-0.5%. Visual game flow script. First third innings. Gray navigates contact early with 2 kiloseconds, Olympic snooze from Morales, Cardinals scratch crooked run. Mid-ins 4-6 Gorman or Goldschmidt punish a soft secondaries fat zone feed. Gray racks 6 kiloseconds, total edges low but Cardinals pad run line. Late innings. Cardinals pen seals, Royals side TT legs. Over clears if offense builds, lean ticket cages clean. Live betting edges and hedge plan. If Gray logs 3 kiloseconds by second on less than 25 pitches, buy Cardinals RL or ladder Gray 6+ Ks. If Morales exits early under 3 innings, pivot to Athletics TT value or A's hitter legs. If Rooker or Goldie gets a barrel early, live bump their TB lines, pacing a 2 to 3 unit hedged roll. Closing lead recommendation. Your primary play. Cardinals ML plus Gray over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Goldschmidt 1+ hit, tight, value driven, low variance. For boom exposure. Add Goldie 2+ TB and Rooker HR to stretch upside. Always shop line variance, as ML and RL differ across books materially. Tonight's heavyweight tilt at Daikin Park is a classic pitcher versus bat chess match. Max Fried L. 14-5, approximately 3.06 era. 154 Ks toes the rubber for the New York Yankees against Framber Valdez L. 12-7. Approximately 3.18 era, 158 Ks for the Houston Astros, 2 southpaws with very different profiles. Fried is a control artist who doesn't beat himself and thrives when the Yankees manufacture crooked runs. Valdez is a sinker sequence specialist who eats innings and gets ground balls, which makes his ceiling quietly high even if the Astros' run support is streaky. Market pricing has this as a tight scrum. Moneyline sitting in the tight range with totals around 7.5-8.5 depending on the book, so the real edge is in granular props and correlated SGP structure rather than one-off mega fades. Start with the starters and how they shape everything else. Fried's batted ball management and elite soft contact numbers give you confidence in lower scoring outcomes when he's on. His profile supports a 6+ strikeout target if command is there, and he's an excellent RL anchor if he gets through 5. Valdez, conversely, racks up innings and keeps his team in games with 5 to 7K floors. In his better outings he limits hard contact and forces weakly struck grounders that make bullpen leverage less volatile. Given those traits, the safest SGP core is built around 1. A starter K leg for Fried or Valdez, 2. A team total leg for whichever club you favor, and 3. A low correlation hitter prop, for example, a Judge or Altuve hit to dampen variance. Now the hitters. Aaron Judge is the obvious MVP caliber centerpiece. He's up around 43 homers with elite exit velocities and is the primary, one swing, ticket for Yankees stacks. For Houston, Jose Altuve and Jeremy Pena are the two safest contact value plays. Altuve offers RBI equity and Pena adds multi-role upside with solid barrel rates. Don't sleep on the middle order sequencing. If the Yankees scratch a crooked run early, the Astros' bullpen tendencies make late comebacks less likely, which favors lean tickets on the home side. For player props, my top easily playable single-leg ideas are 1. Aaron Judge anytime hit HR, 2. Jose Altuve 1+ RBI or 2+ total bases, 3. Judge or Soto 2+ total bases is a higher floor play when correlated to team scoring. Shop those across books. Even a 10 to 20% variance on a prop price radically changes SGP EV. Bullpens swing outcomes more than starters in this matchup. New York's relief depth has been steady and the Astros' late-inning group has had stretches of unreliability this month. That shifts raw EV into starter plus hitter structures and away from blind full game over chases. Live game levers. If Fried is efficient SUB 25 pitches through 2 innings with 2 kiloseconds, upsize the Yankees -1.5 run line and add an extra Judge prop mid-game. If Valdez shows early traffic and exits prior to the 5th, pivot to Astros team total and Altuve, Pena TB legs because Houston's offense tends to get hot against unfamiliar relievers. Those in-play cues are where the real EV lives. My explicit tickets for viewers to consider are numbered and sized conservatively. 1. Core structure 1-2% of bankroll, Fried over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Yankees ML plus Judge 1+ hit. This is low volatility and correlates starter dominance with the Yankees' top of lineup production. 2. Balanced SGP 0.5-1%, Valdez over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Astros team total over 3.5 plus Altuve RBI. This buys the Houston run engine with the starter's innings consumption. 3. Boom ticket 0.25%, Yankees -1.5 RL plus Judge hour plus Fried 7+ Ks plus total over 8.5. This is a high-risk, high-reward ticket that requires early offensive production plus an efficient starter outing to cash. Always shop RL and HR prices across books before committing. Game flow narrative to script on camera. Fried ping-pongs weak contact early. Yankees grind out a crooked run in the 3rd off a tired Valdez pitch. Judge punctuates with a massive opposite field bomb, and the Astros scrabble late but run into a fresh Yankees pen. Alternatively, if Valdez is throwing darts and Fried leaves with a tight pitch count, the Astros manufacture small ball and exploit late Yankees relievers. That's the secondary scenario which makes the Valdez anchor SGPs playable. Live, watch first inning pitch counts and 2-strike swing percentages. Those are your fastest, clearest signals to scale or hedge. Risk management and final coaching points. Limit single ticket exposure. Size according to volatility, 1-2% bankers, 0.25-0.5% swings, and always check late scratches or bullpen announcements before lock. My headline lean for this matchup is the core structure ticket above, starter K anchor, favorite ML, and a top bat prop, because it captures the most probable edge across lines and live market movement. Call this one a fundamental book-beating matchup if you use the live cues and shop prices, play smart, and narrate each live adjustment so viewers learn the process, not just the picks. Tonight at Coors Field, the San Francisco Giants, 68-69, send Kai-Wei Teng to the bump against the Colorado Rockies' Chase Dollander in a matchup that screams volatility, Coors inflation, rookie arms with tiny sample sizes, and a market that's pricing runs like a fireworks show. Teng's MLB line is ugly in small samples, but his minor league track record and recent bullpen work show strikeout upside. His MLB stat line sits around a 7 to 9 ERA range with a high whip in limited action, which makes his K-props playable but risky. Dollander has been a high-variance rookie all year, with control issues in a 6.5 ERA range, but he's flashed upside. Recent starts include a quality outing with 7 kiloseconds against a strong lineup, indicating the ceiling exists if he finds the zone. Coors drives everything here. The total is juiced upward, books showing double-digit totals in some outlets, meaning lean SGP structures and correlated hitter props are the smart path rather than blind full game over-hammering. Market context. The Giants are getting heavy action and are widely available as favorites on most books, with moneyline pricing in the favorites range and totals spiking into the 11-11.5 area at several sportsbooks. Public bettors have pushed runs up early, and that's your invitation to seek edge on low correlation plays. Pick dogs. Preview lists the matchup and recency notes for both teams, while WagerTalk's daily prop lists highlight hitter HR candidates for Coors games, two sites I use to cross-check momentary market edges and player prop consensus. When the total sits north of 10, root your tickets in player props, HR, anytime hit, total bases, and starter K legs that carry inverse correlation to the full over. That's classic tournament money management at Coors. Bullpen dynamics shift the EV calculus. Colorado's relief corps is historically taxed this season and their team era is among the worst in baseball. The Giants' pen has been more reliable, but Coors erases many late-inning advantages. Practically, that means if Dollander exits early, you should immediately pivot to Giants team totals and individual power props rather than forcing a multi-team parlay. Conversely, if Teng gets knocked around in the first two, the Rockies' bench and call-ups, September rosters, can flash late. Live value will show up in Rockies player TBs and Rebellion small ball legs. Monitor bullpen usage and who's available in high leverage. That's where books misprice live lines most often. Player prop map. These are the legs I want on camera. For the Giants, Willie Adames over 1.5 total bases and Heliot Ramos anytime hit are primary plays. Adames' combination of hard contact and walk ISO profile makes him a Coors target when heaters miss by an inch. For the Rockies, Hunter Goodman anytime HR and Brenton Doyle over 1.5 total bases are the contrarian pop plays. Goodman's recent power spike and Coors carry make him a real value dart on HR markets. For pitchers, I like Teng over 4.5 kiloseconds as a core SGP anchor, small sample but high chase, while Dollander over 5.5 kiloseconds can pay off if he's locating his breaking stuff early. Use WagerTalk's HR prop board to cross-check the highest EV homer prices and pick dogs for line movement and consensus percentages. Size these as singles and SGP legs rather than stacking them into a 6-leg correlation mess. SGP and parlay construction. Prioritize correlation and redundancy. Build a core 3-leg SGP. 1. Giants team total over 5.5. 2. Willie Adames over 1.5 total bases. 3. Kai-Wei Teng over 4.5 kiloseconds. This ticket balances team scoring with a starter K anchor and a high EV hitter. For a higher upside swing, tiny unit only, go. 1. Rockies ML at inflated home value. 2. Hunter Goodman anytime HR. 3. Brenton Doyle 2+ total bases. 4. Game total over 10.5. This is contrarian and hinges on a Rockies offensive surprise, which Coors can deliver. If you prefer lower variance, trim to Giants ML plus Adames 1+ hit plus 10K leg. Always check market prices across books. The same SGP will vary widely in payout depending on small prop price differences. Game flow narrative and live adjustments to call on camera. Expect the first 2 innings to be volatility frames. If Tang misses with 2-seamer sinkers and registers early walks, slam Giants TT in a Dames TB leg live because the Coors gas converts free base contact into quick crooked runs. If Dollander shows cutter command and racks 4 to 5 Ks by the 4th on SUB 80 pitches, that's your green light to buy Rockies ML and increase TVU on Goodman HR ladder. Live hedge triggers. If either starter reaches 5 kiloseconds by the 5th with less than 85 pitches, ladder the opposing team RL or a correlated hitter TB because starters often exit and the bullpen mismatch becomes decisive. If the total explodes early to 12+, downsize overexposure and shift to single-player TB hedges. Books will overreact and give nuggets in evolving SGP prices. Final bet sheet for viewers to consider. Size proportion suggestions included: 1 core lean, 1-2% bankroll, Giants team total over 5.5 plus a Dames over 1.5 terabytes plus Tang over 4.5 kiloseconds. 2. Contrarian population, 0.25% bankroll, Rockies ML plus Goodman hour plus game over 10.5. 3. Single leg dimes, a Dames 1 plus hit, Goodman anytime HR, Tang 5 plus Ks. Risk management quick notes. Shop lines across books for a Dames TB and Goodman hour. These move fast. Cap SGP exposure when total greater than 11. And always be ready to pivot live based on the first inning pitch counts and bullpen calls. This Coors game is a slog for the faint-hearted but a feast for sharp prop players. Structure tickets to survive the noise and exploit the mispricings. Tonight, 2 scrappy wild card chasing teams collide in the desert heat. The Arizona Diamondbacks, 68-70, will hand the ball to Ryan Nelson, 7-3. 3.53 ERA, a mix of contact-suppressing stuff and underrated strikeout upside, especially at home. Across the mound, the Texas Rangers, 71-67, counter with Patrick Corbin, 7-9, 4.33 ERA, a veteran whose control wavers but who can calm the zone when locked in. Vegas sees Arizona as slight favorites, -141 megaliters, Rangers plus 120, and the total sits around 9. Match context and market movement. Arizona is 11-7 ATS with Nelson starting, and 6-3 ML when favored. He clearly gives bettors confidence. Rangers are just 6-12 when Corbin is underdog, indicating market skepticism about his ability to flip script. Covers.com sees pace heading for runs early and often at Chase Field. Both lineups have been hot, and Coors-style offense is in play. Team trends and offense. Texas offense is scorching, averaging 5+ runs per game during an 8-2 tear, driven by power bats like Josh Smith and Jock Peterson. Josh Smith has been a runs, hits, RBI machine. Over 1.5 hour plus R plus RBI in gains in 8 of his last 10. Diamondbacks bats are surging too. Kettle Mart, Corbin Carroll, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and Blaze Alexander have provided consistent firepower. Bullpen and game flow shape. Diamondbacks' pen has been surprisingly solid, thanks to Andrew Salfrank and company. Rangers relievers have inherited traffic frequently in high-leverage spots, suggesting as team totals and quick scoring might hold value. Plus, if Corbin leaves early, live parlay setups shift dramatically. Player props and high-value legs. 1. Nelson over 5.5 kiloseconds. His whip and K9 make this playable at home. 2. Corbin under 4.5 kiloseconds. Target context where contact is expected. 3. Josh Smith over 1.5 hour plus R plus RBI, red hot and high ROI trending prop. 4. Kettle Mart anytime hitter TBs, AZ's spark plug against LHP, tough to fade. 5. Blaze Alexander anytime HR, fire meter lit over August, plus delivery in Coors tempos. 6. Diamondbacks team total over 5.5. If Nelson slots in under 90 pitches through 3, as offense often does work early. SGP parlay builds. Core lean 1-2% bankroll. Nelson over 5.5 kiloseconds. Smith over 1.5 hour plus R plus RBI. Diamondbacks ML. Mid-variance play approximately 0.5%. Diamondbacks minus 1.5 RL plus 140. Smith over 2 hour plus R plus RBI. Alexander anytime HR. Total over 9.5 if priced. Contrarian angle 0.25%. Rangers ML at inflated value. Mart anytime hit. Nelson under 5.5 kiloseconds. Game flow and live adjustment script. 1 to 3 innings crucial. If Nelson fires 2 kiloseconds on less than 25 pitches through 2, upsize ML Nelson K leg. If Corbin surrenders first inning traffic, immediately pivot to D-backs TT. 4 to 6 innings. Smith barrels 1. Ladder Smith legs and consider bumping RL live. Alexander pops 1. Add TB leg or scoreboard first team total. Late innings 7 to 9. If Rangers are within 1 but limping, exploit bullpen inefficiency with small dollar comeback bets on Smith or Mart. Final take and best lean. Lead ticket. Nelson over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Josh Smith over 1.5 hour plus R plus RBI plus Diamondbacks ML. Optional booster, small unit. Diamondbacks minus 1.5 RL plus Alexander anytime hour plus total over if under 10. Tip. Shop prop lines Smith, Nelson K lines across books. Big variance can mean big EV shift. Tonight, the San Diego Padres 76-61 fighting for position in the NL West host the Baltimore Orioles 61-76 as they continue their struggling road trip. The mound matchup. Dylan Cease 6'11", 4.82 ERA, 190 strikeouts, a high strikeout righty with inconsistent command, takes on Kyle Bradish 0-1. 3.00 ERA returning from Tommy John with a strong 6-inning, 10-strikeout performance in his first outing. Betting landscape. Padres are the favorites, ML around minus 170, run line minus 1.5 at plus 132, Orioles plus 142. Total is modest, set at 7.5, with historical recency pointing toward over potential. DraftKings models give Padres about a 63% win probability, while simulation consensus also leans that way. Context and edge angles. Padres' recent trends. Solid as ML favorites, winning approximately 62% of those games. Offense and bullpen have steady output. Orioles' resurgence in road spots. Underdogs by plus 142 or more have gone 5 to 10 this season, but returners like Bradish spark life. Total scoring lean. Recent matchups between these teams and overall performance suggest over has hit 7 of Padres' last 10 games and 6 of Orioles' last 7 on the road. Player props and high-value targets. Cease over 5.5 kiloseconds, elite strikeout upside. Bradish over 4.5 kiloseconds plus 104 considered good value. Fernando Tatis Jr. over 1.5 total bases, explosive bat, plus process. Gunnar Henderson anytime extra base hit, consistent power and on base. Ramon Laureano anytime RBI, facing former team, chest fire. Team total over under. Padres TT over 4 if Cease efficient late runs, Orioles TT under 3.5 long road plus bullpen depth. SGP parlay architectures. Core lean 1-2% bankroll. Padres ML. Cease over 5.5 kiloseconds. Tatis Jr. over 1.5 terabytes. Moderate upside 0.5%. Padres minus 1.5 RL plus 132. Cease 6 plus Ks. Henderson extra base hit. Total over 7.5. Contrarian 0.25%. Orioles ML at value. Bradish over 4.5 kiloseconds. Laureano anytime RBI. Game flow narrative and live play strategy. Early 1-3 innings. If Cease racks 2 kiloseconds on fewer than 25 pitches, lean into Yankees roll, adjust to RL or TB add-ons live. If Bradish shows early rhythm, 2 kiloseconds, low pitch count, tilt modest units toward Orioles and team total adjustments. Middle 4-6 innings. Henderson or Tatis strike early. Buy CTTO or TB props mid-game, good padding for SGPs. If Cease falters, pivot to Orioles TT and Laureano scoring legs. Late 7-9 innings. If game is tight and bullpen expected to be taxed, small live RL or TB exposure pays dividends. Heavy correlation between pitching collapse and extra base opportunities. Watch pitch counts and bullpen announcements. Final lean and viewer cheat sheet. Primary lean. Padres ML plus Cease over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Tatis Jr. Over 1.5 terabytes. Balanced. Low volatility, high expectancy. High upside amplifier. Padres minus 1.5 RL plus Cease 6 plus Ks plus Henderson EBH plus over 7.5. Aggressive, but Coors-like environment fits. Risk control. Always cross-shop prop and RL prices. Tatis TB and Cease K lines vary notably, giving edge when priced right. If you're rocking with these breakdowns, smash that like button, subscribe to Beyond the Box Score, and turn on notifications so you never miss a slate breakdown. Drop your best bet or parlay play in the comments. Let's build a winning community together. And if you're serious about taking your betting game to the next level, check out the links below for exclusive DraftKings and FanDuel promos. Let's crush this slate together.